Hi, this is Jason with Team Gantt. A project plan is arguably the most important document created on your project, and any good plan starts with a project brief. Today I'm going to help you create a project brief that will keep your project from going off the rails. At its core, a brief should communicate your project approach and the process your team will use to manage the project according to scope. If it's handled with care and great consideration, a good brief should act as an agreement on project objectives, scope, major deliverables, milestones, timing, activities, process, and even resources needed to deliver your product. If you take the time to create a good process around how your plan is built and you consider all of those factors, you can create a great plan that will work for everyone. Now, you could easily slap together a document that shows dates and deliverables, but if you're managing a project that has a hefty budget, lofty goals, and a whole lot of decisions attached, you'll find that it's important to take the time to get this document right. With the right amount of background information on your project scope and requirements, and with a good level of input and collaboration with your team and your clients, you can make a solid, workable plan that will guide everyone through your project, and it doesn't have to be difficult to create. To many people, a project plan is a dry document that lists dates. To people who are invested in your project, the plan is the project guide that will dictate how you will get to project milestones, decisions, and eventually project completion. At a minimum, a project plan answers some basic questions about the project like, what are the major deliverables? How will we get to those deliverables and the deadline? Who is on the project team and what role will they play in those deliverables? When will the team meet milestones, and when will other members of the team play a role in contributing to or providing feedback on those deliverables? Look at it this way. Your plan should educate any reviewer, coworkers and clients included, on the logistics of the project. They trust that you've got this, so when reviewing the document, they truly believe that you've considered every possible risk, and if you have, it feels good to know that you've done a good job and you're trusted. The first step in creating a good plan is drafting up a good project brief to go over with the client. Picture it. You work for a web design agency and your team just scored a big, new project. Your new client is an internationally recognized art museum and their website is woefully out of date. In fact, it hasn't been redesigned since 2007. The site architecture, visual design, content, and code are ripe for change, and it's up to you to make it happen. Your clients aren't very web savvy, so they're looking to you as the expert to determine a process that will work. They'll also lean on you to let them know what you need in terms of content like photos and text. That's right, it's all on you, and the scope you have in place will support an end-to-end project. We've put together an example of a project brief in our free Guide to Project Planning for you to download and use. And when you're ready to create your project Gantt chart, you want to use the best and easiest web-based Gantt chart software out there. Team Gantt is used and loved by thousands of teams in over 60 countries. We think you'll love it too. To sign up for a free 30-day trial, go to teamgantt.com/signup. Quite often, you'll receive a ton of project details. Pages upon pages of requirements, team biographies, invoicing instructions, contractual clauses, and the like. It's very critical that you read through all of that documentation. But when it comes to creating a plan, this is what you need to know no matter what type of project you're managing. Project goals, the client or team's intended process or methodology, the team and their expertise, expectations on deliverables, expectation on iteration and collaboration when creating and revising deliverables, who the client stakeholder team is and specifically who the main decision makers are, the amount of time the client will need to review work and provide feedback, dependencies, and deadlines. Never leave any of these items unanswered. If you're responsible for creating the project plan, that means you must be sure that all factors have been considered. If you don't, the project will definitely hit a bump in the road and every finger will be pointed at you. For instance, if you've not fully explored the decision-making process, there's a great chance you'll encounter the good old swoop and poop during the process. If you don't know what that is, it's when a stakeholder you weren't aware of swoops into the project at the 11th hour and poops on the work, and then puts you back to square one. It's a budget and timeline nightmare that will become a reality if you don't practice your due diligence. Just remember, you can get as much information as possible and details can change. Do your best to document the information you have so you can account for it in your plan. This was just a brief excerpt from Team Gantt's Guide to Project Planning written by project management consultant Brett Harnett. Brett focuses on solving issues that are important to organizations who want to produce quality digital projects in harmony. Click the link in the description to download the full guide for free so you can plan your projects more efficiently than ever. And if you like this video and want to see more, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks. See you next time.